Before you sign a contract for a wood fence, do the math. A standard 6-foot privacy fence runs anywhere from $20 to $40 per linear foot installed, which means a typical backyard fence job can land you a bill of $8, $10, sometimes $15,000. And in 5 to 10 years, depending on your climate and the wood you chose, you're painting it, repairing panels, or replacing the whole thing because rot finally won. A living wall costs a fraction of that up front, never needs to be repainted, and if you pick the right plants, it actually gets more effective every single year instead of slowly falling apart. That's not a marketing line. That's just how wood versus living material works over a decade. But not every plant marketed as a privacy hedge can actually deliver a wall-like result. And a lot of homeowners plant the wrong thing, wait 3 years, and end up building the fence anyway out of frustration. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to walk through 9 plants that can genuinely form a living wall, and for each one, I'm going to be honest about where it wins and where a fence would actually still make more sense. Because there are situations where I'd tell you to skip the plants entirely, and I'll get to that by the end. One plant on this list can close a gap almost as fast as installing fence panels, and it's not the one most people assume. Let's start with the fastest option most homeowners already know about, because it sets a baseline for everything else. Green Giant Arborvitae is still one of the best all-around choices for a fast living wall, and if you watched our last video on blocking second-story windows, you already know why. 3 feet of growth a year once it's established, disease resistance that beats Leyland Cypress, and a manageable width that doesn't eat your whole yard. For a straight property line wall, Green Giant spaced properly will close into a solid screen within 2 to 3 years from 6-foot starting stock. The trade-off for a living wall specifically, as opposed to just blocking a window, is that you need a long, continuous line of them, and at 8 to 10 feet of ultimate width, if left unpruned, that's a real chunk of your yard dedicated to one row of plants. If your property line is short or your side yard is narrow, this can start to feel like it's eating more space than a 6-inch thick fence ever would. Leyland Cypress deserves a mention here too, because for pure wall building speed, it's genuinely hard to beat. 4 feet of growth in a good year is common, and if your priority is closing a gap as fast as physically possible with living material, this is usually the fastest route on this whole list. But we already covered the disease and spacing issues in detail last time. Crowd these to save space, and you're setting yourself up for canker problems that create the exact gaps you're trying to avoid. If you have room and you're willing to space them out properly, it's a legitimate pick. If you're trying to save space, it's the wrong plant, full stop. Now, here's a completely different approach to the same problem, and it's the one I actually find myself recommending more often than people expect. Wax myrtle for a fast, loose, informal wall rather than a tight, formal one. If you don't need military precision straight lines, and you're fine with a slightly wilder, layered look, wax myrtle grows fast, tolerates rough soil, and forms a genuinely dense screen once it fills in, usually within 2 to 3 years. The width per plant is more forgiving than Leyland Cypress too, typically staying under 10 feet, so you can space them a bit tighter without inviting the same disease pressure. The maintenance trade-off is that it suckers from the base, so you'll want to walk the line once or twice a year and clip off any shoots trying to spread the hedge wider than you planned. That's a 10-minute job, not a real burden, but it's worth knowing about before you plant it and forget about it. If your budget is the real driver here, and for a lot of people replacing an expensive fence quote, it absolutely is, Privet is worth a serious look because it's one of the cheapest hedging plants you can buy per linear foot, and it grows fast enough to close a gap in 2 to 3 years from smaller, cheaper starting stock. It takes pruning extremely well, which means you can shape it into that tight, formal wall look, if that's what you're going for, unlike the looser habit of wax myrtle. Here's the catch, and it's an important one depending on where you live. Some privet varieties are considered invasive in parts of the country, particularly in the southeast and mid-Atlantic, where birds spread the seeds into wild areas and it outcompetes native plants. Before you plant it, it's worth a quick check on your specific state's invasive species list, because a plant that's totally fine in one region can be a genuine problem in another. If it's cleared for your area, it's one of the best cost-per-foot options for building a wall fast. If it's flagged as invasive where you live, skip it entirely and go with one of the other options on this list instead. For homeowners who want density without the invasive species question mark, skip Laurel solves a lot of the same problem. It's not the cheapest plant per unit, but it grows at a solid pace, usually 2 to 3 feet a year, and it's exceptionally dense and shade-tolerant compared to most of what we've covered so far. If part of your property line sits under the shadow of your house or big tree, this is one of the few fast options that won't thin out and leave gaps in that shadier stretch. The one real downside is that skip laurel can be more susceptible to shot-hole fungus in overly wet, poorly drained conditions, which shows up as small holes in the leaves. It's rarely fatal, but it can make the wall look a little rough if you're in a consistently damp climate. Pick a spot with decent drainage, and this mostly stays a non-issue. Now, let's talk about a plant that solves a completely different problem. What if you don't just want privacy, you want the wall itself to be beautiful with a totally different look through the seasons? Viburnum earns its spot here for exactly that reason. There are dozens of viburnum varieties, but for a living wall, you want one of the denser evergreen or semi-evergreen types. Growth rate is moderate, usually 1 to 2 feet a year, so this is not the fastest option on the list. But what you get in exchange is genuinely attractive white spring blooms on many varieties, sometimes followed by berries that bring in birds. If you want your living wall to actually look intentional and seasonal rather than just functional, this is one of the strongest picks here, even though it takes longer to close a full gap than Leyland Cypress or Privet. American holly comes back into the conversation here too, and for the same reason it worked for the second-story window problem, shade tolerance and long-term reliability. If you're building a wall along a stretch of property that gets inconsistent sun throughout the day, holly will hold its density in conditions that make faster growers thin out and leave holes in your wall exactly where you don't want them. For anyone dealing with an especially tight space where even a narrow shrub is too wide, clumping bamboo is worth covering, though it comes with a very specific warning attached. Clumping varieties, unlike running bamboo, stay in a contained footprint and don't send out the aggressive underground runners that make regular bamboo such a nightmare for neighbors. Growth speed is fast, often several feet a year once established, and it creates one of the densest, most complete visual walls of anything on this list, with the added benefit of movement and sound in the wind that no other plant here gives you. The catch is that you need to be 100% certain you're buying a true clumping variety and not a running one, because the wrong purchase can turn into years of aggressive spreading that damages foundations, invades neighboring yards, and becomes a genuinely expensive problem to remove. Buy from a reputable nursery. Confirm the species name specifically, and this can be one of the fastest, densest walls available. Get it wrong, and it's the single worst plant on this entire list. Last up in the plant lineup is Forsythia, and I want to be upfront that this is the outlier here. It's deciduous, meaning it loses its leaves in winter, so it will not give you the year-round wall the rest of this list provides. What it does give you is extremely fast growth, some of the quickest on this list during the growing season, plus a spectacular burst of yellow blooms in early spring before most other plants have even woken up. If your privacy need is mainly a warm weather concern, screening a pool area, a patio you use April through October, Forsythia can build a genuinely thick wall for those months at a very low cost. Just go in knowing that come winter, that wall is gone until spring. So that's 9 real options for building a living wall instead of paying for a fence. But I told you at the start, there are situations where I'd actually tell you to build the fence anyway. And I want to be honest about that, instead of just selling you on plants, because that's the theme of this video. If you need privacy this month, not in 2 or 3 years, a fence wins. Even the fastest growers on this list, Leyland Cypress and Clumping Bamboo, need at least 1 full growing season before they're doing real work, and most need 2 or 3. If you're hosting an event in 6 weeks and the exposed yard is a problem right now, no living wall is going to bail you out in time. That's a fence job, or a temporary screen while your plants catch up. If you're on a very small lot where every foot of width matters, this is also a case for caution. A wood fence takes up maybe 6 inches of ground. Even the narrowest plants on this list, and none of the 9 we covered today, are truly narrow, the way something like a columnar juniper is, will eat several feet of yard space once mature. If your side yard is only 4 or 5 feet wide to begin with, a living wall might genuinely cost you more usable space than it's worth, and a fence becomes the more practical choice. And if your HOA has strict rules about property line plantings, or if you share a fence line with a neighbor who's already resistant to change, sometimes the political and logistical reality of a shared living wall, who maintains it, whose side does the pruning, what happens if one person wants it removed later, makes a simple, unambiguous fence the path of least resistance, even if it costs more up front. But if none of those situations apply to you, and most homeowners reading into this video don't have those constraints, a living wall wins on almost every other metric that matters over time. So let's talk about which of these 9 I'd actually plant, because the answer depends heavily on what you're optimizing for. If speed is your absolute top priority, and you've got the width to spare along your property line, Leyland Cypress spaced correctly will get you there fastest, full stop. If you want nearly that same speed, without the disease risk that comes with crowding cypress, green Giant Arborvitae is the safer, more forgiving version of the same strategy, and it's the one I'd default to for most standard suburban lots. If your budget is the real constraint, and Privet is legal to plant in your state, it's the cheapest path to a dense, formal wall, and it takes pruning beautifully if you want that manicured look. If you want something wilder and lower fuss that tolerates bad soil without complaint, wax myrtle is the pick. Shaded stretch of yard, go straight to skip laurel or American holly, depending on how much sun you're actually getting, with skip laurel winning if you want faster results, and holly winning if you're playing the long game. Want a wall that actually blooms and changes with the seasons? Viburnum is worth the slower growth rate. Extremely tight space where you need maximum density with minimal footprint, and you're willing to verify the species carefully, clumping bamboo is unmatched. Just don't cut corners on confirming it's a true clumping variety. And if your privacy need is really just a warm weather patio and pool season problem, Forsythia gives you a fast, beautiful wall for exactly those months at the lowest cost of anything on this list. For most people asking whether they should skip the fence entirely, I'd point you toward green Giant Arborvitae as the safest, most reliable choice, with wax myrtle as my pick if you want something a little more low maintenance and forgiving of an imperfect planting site. Building the wall is only step one, though. The real mistakes happen after planting, spacing these too tight to rush the results, planting the wrong thing too close to a foundation, or picking a fast grower without a plan for the pruning it'll eventually need. That's exactly what we're covering next, because a living wall you have to fight with every summer isn't actually cheaper than the fence you were trying to avoid. So tell me, is the fence quote you got too expensive, too ugly, or is it more that you just don't want to deal with the upkeep down the road? That's going to change which of these 9 actually makes sense for your yard.